Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm watching my ring light slowly do this.
Your ring light's drunk. It's not good. It's first thing in the morning.
So time to get a new ring light. It broke from the tripod, so I've been
If
trying
you
to
see
hold it.
if you see Faye all of a sudden in the middle, like holding up her ring light,
Yeah.
that's why.
It's I MacGyvered it with some tape, but didn't work.
So for those of
Just,
you who are under the age of 40 that do not know what MacGyver means.
no, there's a new MacGyver.
Oh, is there?
There is on like Netflix or something. I never watched it, but there is a new one. I just don't see how it could ever live up to the old one, but
No, like the old, so basically MacGyver is he takes like scotch tape, orange juice, and something else and a stick and makes like a bomb or something.
yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
can he can make anything out of anything. So
Yes. So when you MacGyver something, it's just like, I don't have what I need, so I'll make what I need. So that's
duct tape.
great.
That's
Duct
what we
tape.
use duct tape for.
Well, I didn't have any, so that's why I used just regular tape. That's probably why it's not holding. But,
Mhm.
anyways, and then, I woke up this morning. When you wake up sometimes and you have a cool song in your head and it's in there all day, right? It's
No,
very cool. No? Like, don't you
no,
ever wake
because
up thinking of a song?
never.
Wow. Okay. So, anyways, I do, and normally when it's a cool song, it's like, okay, I got it all day. This morning, I woke up with Copacabana, the
That's
hottest
awesome.
north of Havana.
That's a great song to wake up to.
That's all I can hear, and I'm like literally walking down the stairs, and I'm going Copa. It's
Well,
not not what I wanted to hear.
yesterday, so in relationship to that, my son's he played music before he went to bed, and I guess he put it on like shuffle. So when I
Mm.
got up and I went downstairs, I can hear it. And the song that was playing yesterday morning was "It's Raining Tacos."
Which is a very popular song.
And so that was stuck in my head all day yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping. It was really weird because yesterday, you guys know I'm just obsessed. I watch all the music documentaries and everything, and I rewatched the Queen one, the documentary. Not
Oh
the movie.
yeah,
Um,
I don't think I
can't
saw
remember what
the
it's called. It's
I
the
saw
one
the
with them
video.
and how Adam Lambert and him got how they got together, and it was really great, and the music phenomenal, as you know. So you'd think I'd wake up with some, like "We Will Rock You" or something, right?
We are the champions.
But nothing. So anyway, and I
Copacabana.
looked in the dark because my light's fading. Woo.
Well, maybe you're thinking of Copacabana. Maybe you're dreaming of beaches and travel and relaxation.
Well, I am on the water, and I can see a nice white frozen lake.
But what's
And
pretty, if you've
it's
never seen
very pretty.
it's very pretty. For those of you who have never seen a frozen, like the lines that the ice
Yeah.
makes in the indents, and sometimes it's very pretty.
It is, and I still, you occasionally see somebody walk across it, and it's interesting to me because this is Georgian Bay. This is Lake Superior. This isn't a little lake. It's a big lake. So I'm always surprised at people, even though we're in kind of like a bay. I'm always surprised that people like trust it because there's no ice fishing huts, so it's not that strong.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a big body of water. Like it's like
Big body.
little lakes can freeze if they're by the
Yeah,
shore. If it's shallow, deep ice, you're good.
yeah.
That's
This one,
like the ocean.
yeah, it's amazing to me. But anyway, so I sat down here. So I'm on the water, and I have a like kind of walkout basement, which is really the boys' area. Like they play games, and But I came down here last night and watched TV just to get out of the way of some help that was coming. And I forgot how nice it was.
It's very
So
pretty.
it's really nice. It's
Yeah.
freezing. And maybe you're right. Maybe I was looking at the water going, Copa. I want somewhere hot. I do. And I mean, I'm still, as soon as we get out of here, Nashville, baby, here we
Come
go.
on. Exactly.
I want to do. So I wanted to talk about, I don't know what you want to talk about, but I want to talk about something that really bothered me. And when you sometimes, usually TV doesn't bug me, like, because it's all fake. So when you see
Yeah.
stupid things, it doesn't bug you, right? Because
Okay.
it's just stupid TV things. So I was watching the Sex and the City. What's it called again? The new one? And
And
just like that.
then just like
And
that,
just like that. So it's a terrible show, by the way. Sorry. Kim Cattrall's not on it. And she was, to me, she was the show. She had the funny lines. She was great. And I could go on about how much I dislike this show, but you get to a point where you want to watch it every week because it's such a disaster.
that was where I got to. I watched
Mhm.
the first one. I was like, this is awful. I'm
Yeah.
waiting. I'm like, okay, well, it's gonna get better. 2, 3, 4. There's 10 episodes.
And it's no
And the
better.
last one, as you know, I just finished watching it over the weekend, and I'm like, that was really bad.
Yeah. And I was waiting for you so I could write you and say, by the way. So this is the part that bothers me. I get you're not like nothing's real on TV and you're not supposed to be real, but there are things that you expect people to get right. So there's Carrie doing her new podcast and
Yep.
she's got call-in. She's taking call-ins. You can't take call-ins when you're on a podcast that hasn't been up yet. It's not live.
That's the point. Yeah. It didn't make any sense.
It really bothered me because I was like, it's a live radio show. It's not a podcast. So stop pretending, because at the end you pointed out, she said, or the producer or somebody said, like, when is this going to air or something?
Yeah, like the producer says, well, I still have to edit it or something, and then when it's live, and I'm like, but so it wasn't, because there are people that do live podcasts.
Right, but this wasn't.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a thing. Like, you can call in and it's live, and just like us, this is not a podcast, this is a live stream, this is a TV show.
Right.
This is live. We are here, and you could comment and we can mention to you, and if you wanted to join us, you could.
Right.
So,
but she wasn't live. She wasn't doing a podcast that wasn't airing, and she was taking in call-ins. There's so many things that are awful on all levels on that show. When Che Diaz started singing California Girls, I thought I was going to throw up.
That's a strong reaction. But yes, I didn't like, for people who haven't watched the show, sorry, spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
I did not like the way that she did that. Like, I know it's TV and blah, 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 but I really didn't like the way that she did that. Like, it just didn't sit well with me.
Wish we had that clip. Do you remember where she's like, she announces, I'm doing a pilot. It's like, okay. It was so bad. Everything about that show was so bad. And I'm telling you right now, so before anyone says, oh, I love Che's character, thank God Che Diaz is on that show, because we don't like her so much that it is a good reason to watch it. Because if she wasn't there annoying the hell out of us, there'd be nothing left to watch on that show.
Yeah, it's interesting how something so bad can be intriguing to watch. It's kind of like the train wreck, right? I mean, we watch shows and complain, like that one. We've watched The Bachelor. The entire time we're sitting there going, this is horrible, awful. I can't believe we're watching this. It's like a train wreck. You can't turn away from it. You have to know what happens.
Yeah. And so I just had to get that out, because as when you do podcasts, and as a podcast producer, that must have made you crazy.
Well, I was fine with the live. I was fine with the call-in, because I know those exist, and I was all good.
Yeah.
And then so I'm watching it and blah blah blah, and then like afterwards, I just went, huh? Like,
it's
I just kind of, my head shook, and I was like, that's not how this works. So unless it was pre-scripted, and that's okay too. If you want to have a guest on, but you don't have you don't have a call-in show if it's not live.
Anyway,
I'm confused.
So this week, I mean, I just watched a ton of shows. I just watched because I was back to so I told you guys a couple of weeks ago about Matthew McConaughey's Calm app. Mm-hmm. His not his app. The app is Calm. He's one of it on. I tell you, honest to God, Stacy, even like as last night, I mean, I don't sleep, I don't sleep, I don't sleep. And I put it on and I slept. Like, I don't understand. I've never heard the whole story. Every single time I put it on, I don't know if there's some weird vibrational
I have
current.
no idea what happens in the middle. I don't know.
but,
I know what
but
happens in the beginning and I know the end.
Well, so what happened was this week I wasn't using it and I was staying up and I was watching, shows at 3 a.m. because I can't sleep. Because do you know how when you get something, you got a pattern and it's working and then you forget about it? So I just forgot about the app. You're not relating to anything I'm saying today. I forgot about the app. And so I literally, for the last week, all I've been doing is watching shows in the middle of the night. And then last night I went back to, oh yeah, I have that app probably doesn't work now. And then I turned it on at like 12:30 and boom, I was asleep. So that was cool.
Well,
But I watched
you do slip into old patterns.
Well, you do, because it's kind of like, it's like
Absolutely.
if you eat something or drink something and you're healthy and then you run out of it, then you forget that you've been taking it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's habit building, doing things a little bit differently. Even yesterday, so funny you said that, is a little bit of a different twist on reverting to old habits, but I was creating a Facebook ad. And Facebook ads are amazing, but they're a little bit different now because there's lots of changes that have happened with the ads, and the new iOS has made things more complicated, and there's different learning phases. And so there's just a lot going on with Facebook ads right now. So I took time and I learned different ways of doing things, blah, blah, blah. So I like leaped into the ads manager and started to create an ad. And I went back to my old habits of what I used to do, and things have changed. Right. So I need to do things differently. So I ended up making some mistakes. And then literally halfway through, I was texting you like, well, what about this? What about that? And then I went, oh my goodness, I've slipped into old habits again.
Yeah.
Stop. I had to really focus because it's hard to create new habits.
Totally.
And do things differently.
It's completely hard to. So, I mean, but, you have to try to stick to them. And that's why, I promote doing some type of one-day planner or some planner that you can use so you can keep yourself on track. We have a one that you guys can DM us. It's in our New Year challenge, and it's free in the New Year challenge. And so it's just something that you can write it down. So on my last round, and I just started doing it again on the last year when I was doing my one-day planner, I would always write down, like what I would have in the morning for like a supplement or a shake or something. But I stopped doing it because I didn't find anything that I liked or that worked.
Right.
So I just gave up on it. And so now I found something again. Yay. And so I've started writing it down every morning to make sure that I remember, because sometimes you get up and you go, it's not routine. It's still not habit for me, right? Because I haven't been doing it very long. And so I forget when I wake up, and then I go back to the old habits, which is first thing is make coffee. Second thing is make coffee.
Right.
So,
but it's true. But you have to, with one-day planners, it needs to get into your system, right? Yeah. So when I look at my calendar, I'm addicted to my calendar. If it's not in the calendar, it doesn't exist. It's in my calendar. I don't know what to do unless it's in my calendar. But I'm also very disciplined to look at my calendar. So maybe because funny you said that, because for the last 3 mornings I've been wanting to have something different for breakfast, and I forget.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's what I mean.
Because you slip into old routines and I just go in autopilot, and you just do. And then you go, oh, hang on a second. Like later in the day, I was like, oh, okay, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow.
That's why a lot of people leave, leave their stuff out and on their counter or whatever to remember. But it's still, I need to actually. So when I look at my, today in the calendar, in the planner, I look at it and go, okay, did I do this, this, and this morning? Because at the end of the day, it's when you go, oh, I forgot, right? I forgot I was going to have this for breakfast, or I was going to, take this supplement or these smoothies or something. And then you forget. So it is, I mean, like anything, it's creating that habit, and it's very hard. It's very hard. If anyone thinks it's easy to create a habit, it's not. It does take, 14, 21, 28 days, depending on, and there's no real, like I used to say 21 days, because that was to me, my number. but it doesn't mean that it works. Some people can do a habit in 2 days, right? If they're very
Yeah,
focused and disciplined
absolutely.
and go, this is it, I'm implementing it. It's the same people who would like, quit smoking cold turkey, or decide never to have a drink again. You know what I mean? Like those people are the ones that can, very clearly, the ones that are successful stick to that. But for most of us, we have to have a reminder on a daily basis of what it is that we're, doing. And it's not any different than, putting what you want to accomplish in your calendar as well, because you can say every day I'm going to do this, 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 and then you get there and you go, oh, didn't work out that way at the end of the day.
Well, that's why physical, like you said, putting things on the counter, physical planners, that's why they're
Yeah,
still in our technological world.
huge.
Physical planners are huge because it's in your face. Because unfortunately, with the digital world, it's very easy out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. And it is, I mean, that's the biggest problem I think I have. And so I used to always, one of the techniques I would teach some of my clients was, if they were wanting to write or do a program or do something about a particular topic, rather than download and put it in a file on their computer, download, print, and put it in a file on paper in front of them.
Right.
Because sometimes you forget that you've downloaded, you forget where you filed it. Like, it's not that easy. And the other thing too is, it's the same though as physical. I mean, don't file it in a filing cabinet.
Right.
If you're really working on something, put one of those stackable files on your desk so that you can see every single day, and then it's a reminder that, yes,
Reminder.
I'm working on that. Because we are guilty of it too. We have so many things going on, and sometimes we go, oh, we said we were going to work on that, and then we forgot about it, and then you forget where it even is, and did we review it?
Well, we
Like,
were just talking about that yesterday. Do we have it? Do we not? Where is it?
yeah,
Did you record that? Did I record that? Is it on your computer?
yeah,
And then we were talking about another thing that we were doing, and I'm like, well, I think I have that, but I have to find it. I think it's in this file, and I put it over
yeah.
here. So it's
Well, so you have to figure out a system that works, but it's for your life, not just your business. So, whatever. And, mine's not perfect. It's slowly working, but it's not perfect. But yeah, so but again, like that, it comes back to that Calm app, right? I forgot that it was working for me. It was the only thing that's ever made me go to sleep, and I forgot about it after like two
because you
weeks.
slipped into old patterns, and it's easy. It's easy
And
to
my
do.
pattern is real simple. I have a tablet beside my bed. And
That's
I
what you
just
stop doing.
and I throw on Netflix, I throw on Disney, I throw on shows like so I watched for those guys, for you guys who are interested in just real life stuff. I was watching The Secrets of Playboy, the documentary on A&E. There's 4 episodes now. Fascinating to find out, like, not really nice stuff that was going on.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
so well, what's interesting about this one? I was watching it and I had mentioned it to someone, and I said, it's interesting. They go, oh, okay, well, I'm watching some other show, and you know, you have to be in the mood for that smutty stuff, not real life. And I was like, what? Hang on. This is real life. This is not smutty, and it's because it's Playboy. You're saying it's smutty. It's real life. What happened to these girls that were part of this Playboy culture, which is, fascinating and really interesting to see right now in the era that we live in,
Yeah.
because, you know, Hef was all about, pretending he was empowering women and all this shit. And it was the polar opposite internally. And, really fascinating to see that behind the scenes. There's so much coming out, and I like it. I know people are like going, oh, the Me Too and all this stuff. And listen, we have to accept that things were different back to years ago. We have to accept it. We don't have to accept that they were right. Right? We have to accept they were different, but not that they were right. And so I'm all for, like all the whole Joe Rogan thing, about all the Joe Rogan stuff. I'm all for holding him accountable. He makes $1 trillion a year. He has like 200 million followers. I think he lets a lot of alt-right people onto his show. So they're very different in terms of the opinions you get. But I'm sorry. yes, freedom of speech, but you need to be held accountable for, is it, is it appropriate in today's society, some of the things you're doing?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
And so I just think, good for people to hold these guys accountable. Like, you can't, like, don't hide behind freedom of speech to say I can say anything I want. No,
Exactly.
you can't say anything you want when it's misinformation, when it's wrong, when it's discriminatory, when it's racist. You
Well,
can't.
you can
Sorry.
say whatever you want as long as you're willing to understand that there's consequences for what you say.
Right. Right. And I just, he apologized the other day for using the N word, right, in some old videos or something. And then on the other side, on the other side of his mouth, he's like, well, okay, I was wrong and it's embarrassing and blah, blah. But, if you don't like what I'm talking about, then just don't listen to me. And I was just kind of felt like he was doing an apology to keep his $100 million salary
Yeah,
rather
yeah, it wasn't
than,
genuine.
yeah, so I don't know. I think it's good to watch all these shows like Secrets of Playboy and all these things to see what so to make sure things like that don't happen again, right?
Well,
That
it's good to
people,
know because a lot of that stuff was brushed under the rug. It wasn't
yeah,
talked about. It was hush hush, and here
right.
we are talking about it sort of live and anyone can hear, and we do have a voice and we can
Yeah.
now say, whereas before and that's what I find really interesting going back to looking at those documentaries is because now with social media, everything is so transparent. Whereas
Yeah,
before it never was. Things were behind closed doors. You never knew what was going
totally.
on. No one ever shared anything. If you were, you didn't have a voice.
No, and now you're being held accountable. Like, if you want to have a strong opinion, cool, but somebody is going to check on that strong opinion, right?
Exactly. And hold you
Someone's
accountable.
going to look back and go, okay, you can say that, but what do his actions do, right? What do his
Exactly.
actions do? Because that's kind of a different thing. So I'm not telling you that not to listen to Joe Rogan or any of that stuff. Like, you like him, cool. I'm just saying he's got to, like, pay attention to what he's doing and not talk out of two sides of his mouth. That's it.
Yeah,
Because there's so
exactly.
many people now that are, realizing that, yeah, like, all that old stuff's coming back to haunt them, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
all of a sudden, like, if you say one thing, so here's personal opinion. Sometimes you've heard people say something a little, ridiculous. One, like, they say one stupid thing. It might be a little racist or something. They say one thing and then they come back and they go, I'm really sorry. That's not who I am. Sorry. Even in
Mm,
that split second, if you could have said it, that is who you are.
yeah, because you didn't take time to think, which means it is what you think,
It is who you are.
which means your filter
So,
didn't kick in.
right.
And you can't always hide behind your filter.
No, so you're a real person. And so, like, we do hot topics. We've talked about a lot of things that some people don't agree with, right? And that's okay. I don't care if you don't agree with me. I'm probably going to get some DMs from Joe Rogan fans today. And I'm not telling you not to listen to him and all that stuff, but I'm just saying, I'm telling you what I think, right? I don't, I'm not trying to hide it. Somebody can come back and say whatever they want to me, but I don't have anything in my background that says, that I was running around using the N word, or I was doing,
Exactly.
I don't have that in my background. Go ahead and try to find it, because you won't. You won't.
Exactly.
It doesn't
That's true.
exist.
It's true.
Doesn't exist.
It's
So
true.
anyway, so that
Okay,
was, yeah, yeah.
I'm going to switch gears
Okay.
because we promised we would talk about something last week.
Oh,
Um,
we did.
we did. But
Okay.
before we go there, I just want to give one quick announcement. There's an
Hmm.
update on Instagram today,
On
which is
what?
really cool.
Okay.
It just showed up in my account today, so if I'm a little bit behind, I apologize. Or if I'm ahead, heads up.
Mhm.
They actually have a new feature when you go to post, that because right now when you go to post, you can tag people or you can add your location. Well, now you can add a reminder. So you literally can add a reminder and it says, the title of the reminder, the start time, that kind of stuff. So I thought for people who are doing things like lives, events, launches, maybe new podcast episodes coming out, new YouTube videos coming out, whatever the case may be, you can actually put that there so people can actually click get a reminder so they know what's going on. So I don't have to try to take screenshots and remember and all that kind of stuff. So I'm
Okay.
very,
So you're telling me, so if you come across, if you post about, if I posted this morning about hot topics,
so
right?
you didn't post, you did in your story.
I didn't.
You did it in your story. So if this is a post.
Oh, this is only a post. Okay, so if I posted in the feed in my post about hot topics this morning, and I, what do I have to do in it? Nothing. They just have.
No, you go next, and then you would see the option to add reminder, and you would put in the title and the start time, and then they could click on that in the post to get a reminder about.
Awesome. Okay, so does everyone understand that? I'd like to go step by step just so people understand. So I post. No, I mean, I think it's important.
No,
Stacey,
absolutely, I agree.
I want to know I mean, I want them to understand how to do it for their accounts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's a great
post, I've seen it. It was been on my account for a while, but I didn't know what it was. So I post hot topics this morning, or say I posted yesterday, hot topics tomorrow morning, come on and join us. And I put tomorrow 9 a.m. with the link to where.
No, it's just, it's
just a reminder.
Yeah.
So
to go back to the post to get the information.
Got it. So somebody sees it in the feed and they see I want to go watch them because they're so great. They push the reminder, and then what happens tomorrow morning?
That I have not seen yet because I haven't actually tried it myself. So I'm assuming that it works very similar to a lot of the other, like Facebook has that get reminder that literally will come as a notification that says.
So you have to have your notifications on from Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a great one.
Yeah, it's I just saw that this morning, so I thought that was a great.
It is good because there are times when I've wanted to watch something and forgot about it.
Yeah, or somebody goes, you know what, I'm going live tomorrow, or I'm going, I have this event happening next week. Well, as soon as you click through, go by, it's out of your brain, like you said, out of sight, out of mind, right?
So we should try it. So next week we're going to post, and we're going to put the reminders on the post to see, and you guys can let us know how it works.
I know. So I'm excited. So I always love new features. I think it's an added benefit because we have things on stories that we can use, but they didn't have it in the posts.
Right. And I do for those of you guys who saw my post this morning, I gave a direct link to our page that we're doing this live on, which is so much easier because we used to go, watch us on LinkedIn, watch us on YouTube, watch us on this, watch us on that. Now we just go click this link and you can watch us right on a page. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. So there's lots of options. So we did promise last week that we would talk. So we do have a few minutes left about sort of our past, our history, what we've done in our past in regards to how we're bringing it forward, not just business related. Like a lot of people don't know that you used to own a yoga studio. When you were talking about the 21 days, I think, you ran a 21-day yoga challenge. Yeah. You're a Feng Shui master. You're all of these things. You've got your MBA. So can you give us a little bit of a lowdown on things? Like we did a post of things people don't know about you.
Yeah, you probably just done it all. So yeah, I've been in, I was in corporate America forever, ran businesses in Europe and Asia and Canada and North America. And along the side, because, I never liked to stop, I opened Feng Shui business because I was always interested, studied, became a master. When I had the opportunity, I opened up my own, yoga health studio. I've done that since I was 8 years old, did yoga. So that was just part of my life. I'm a big student of Buddhism. And all of those things play into a meditation teacher. All those play into what's included in our business. So I've always been open about it. So I'm just going to tell a little story. When someone wanted to hire me when I decided I wasn't going to do any more corporate, right? And I was doing some little side consulting, and I didn't want to even meet with them, big company. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to show them what I really have my side hustle businesses, which is my Feng Shui and all this stuff. And then they'll freak out because they're corporate and they won't want me. So that's literally how I was work. So I went and I said, this is all my background in business, and this is what I do, on the side. And I run a Feng Shui business, and I have a blog about full moons and stuff. Like I had all this stuff, and I had thousands of followers, and they offered me on the spot.
Wow.
And what was interesting is I thought they weren't going to like all that stuff, but what was interesting to them is the fact that I had the initiative to do all these businesses, incorporated into whatever was working. It was working, incorporating it into my life. And so therefore it was, it was good. So as we've been working really hard on establishing Mastermind City and everything that goes with it. And we've got some other pieces coming in. And one of them is a company that we're starting called Forest 17. And that is our side of a business, which is where, we've talked about our studio and the farm, and it's in a forest. And so we're going to be actually giving you guys the opportunity to join us in meditations and feng shui and yoga and doing all this stuff, because it is part of everything we do. And rather than hide it, we're going to say, you know what? I know you guys love what we're doing and you love being trained to be visible online and do everything that we have to do. But here's how we actually stay focused, that we do all this other stuff. And your stuff, I think people know more about that from me than they know about you. Right? Because I've been all over. Like, I've been on social media with yoga, and I've done podcasts, and I've been guest speaking and everything. So I've pretty much been out there. But what you do as on the side, nobody really knows about.
Well, I'm also a Reiki Master, which a lot of people don't know. I've done workshops on meditation. I've done workshops on chakra balancing and all of that kind of stuff. I taught Reiki for kids actually at your yoga studio.
Yeah.
So there's lots of those pieces that you're right. We kind of haven't really talked about because we've been focused on the business training, and that's very important. But as we know, we're whole people. We need, we need the personal, we need the business, and we also need, just the mental aspect of it. So you're right. How we're going to be bringing in how we stay focused, our ways of doing things, I guess, meditations, energetic work, all of that kind of stuff is really exciting. So I'm excited to kind of bring that stuff back as well. Yeah. But it wasn't always the case. Like, I just kind of fell into it. I've done spiritual retreats and participated in them and helped run them and ran workshops in them and stuff like that. So it's a totally different. I was even a practitioner for a while.
Yeah. So and for everyone to be really clear, we're not. I mean, we went back and forth on this, and we need to be very brand focused in our business. So our business is this. Our business is about how to get you visible online, teaching you how to do videos, how to do podcasts, how to get your message across. It's very, very focused on brand, and that's what we want to stay clear. So rather than it, because we had played with it a little bit last year about bringing it in, but we realized that it just takes away from what our message is in our brand. So that's why we're moving it over to Forest 17, which is a completely different brand. So, our group, our Mastermind City group of companies, has 3 real distinct brands. It's Mastermind City, Forest 17, and for those of you who don't know, One Red Lipstick. That's our other brand, which we'll be talking about down the road. Successful on its own right, does its own thing. But those are our 3 basically hubs. And so Forest 17 allows us to, take you into a real forest and do forest bathing live on, on one of our feeds. Stacy will probably end up doing, don't know because I haven't talked to her, workshop for Reiki for kids. I mean, that's one that's really huge and people really are interested in. And so why not do it? Because it's part of her expertise, right? So rather than not utilize it, let's bring that into the fold and say, you know what? You might be working with us. You might be in our mastermind or visibility mastermind. By the way, the next one starts April. You'll be in our visibility mastermind and you're learning all this stuff, but you also are struggling because you have a kid at home that you think maybe a Reiki doing Reiki for this kid might help to, streamline things, to keep things balanced. So why not? We can say, oh, by the way, sure, we understand because we're like you. We have the same problems as you do. So here you go, come over here and check it out. And it's completely distinct. And the people that come into Forest 17 might not be remotely interested in business training. They might just want to learn about meditation and Feng Shui and anything else. I mean, I did workshops on yoga nidra, on mudras, on all these things that people are really interested in. It is not my main focus. right? Our business is our main focus,
Yeah.
but this is part of who we are.
Exactly.
And we have this, the reason part of it has come forward is we have this opportunity because we have a space for it.
Right. Yeah, which I'm excited about. So yes, keeping things a little bit separate, I think, is important. But again, it encompasses everything of who we are and how we basically do life, business, and everything else. So
Yeah.
which is good.
So we're really excited about it. So you guys will see more about it in the spring. We have a couple of things that we're really focusing on for Mastermind City. One is our Visibility Mastermind, which starts April, May, June.
Yep.
Which is like in 3 months is like the perfect, if you're struggling with your brand or you're struggling to get noticed, this is it. And then June or July and August, we roll into GIA in our Visibility
Summer school.
So those are all kind of set, and we're just kind of massaging in terms of timing and all this stuff. So while we're running those, because those are kind of like, even though we're totally engrossed and we're there with you 2 or 3 times a week throughout those entire weeks of training, we'll be doing the other piece on the side. So who knows, we might be incorporating some of our stuff right into our mastermind and our school, as a little, oh, by the way, if you're, worried about focus, why don't you go here experience some of our, forest meditations or something. And hopefully we'll be able to have some guests and stuff on that side as well. So we're really excited about it. Can you tell?
Well, and it's true because a lot of people, they do bring in their personal, like, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that. It's like, okay, well then maybe this would be of help. So we want to make sure the success of everybody is achieved.
Yeah, because most of the time what we do realize, if you have clients or we see people in masterminds, there's always a reason that somebody doesn't finish their assignment or doesn't go through everything. There's always a reason. And in a lot of times it's just getting focus or getting a little bit of self-care in there to help them, straighten that out. And so most programs, including coaching programs, don't deal with that. I'm there, and I don't want to help people. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a social worker. I can't help you with that stuff, but I can help you with stuff that works for me. And, and Stacy can help you with stuff that works for her. So it doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. It's just an alternative route to really get you through so that you can focus on your business or whatever it is that you are, totally interested in focusing on and getting right.
Exactly. And wanting to succeed at it. So perfect. Awesome. Okay. Well, we have a lot of work to do. So we are going to let you go for today.
And I'll leave you with, so some of you can join me in this terrible thing that's in my brain at the Copacabana.
Enjoy having that in your head all day, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.